An increasing number of pensioners are struggling to make ends meet, to such an extent they're turning to campgrounds and caravan parks for accommodation. Now, last week we told you the story of Lynn Haynes from Tauranga, who lives alone illegally in a campground because she can't afford a rental unit. Now we can reveal the number of people aged 65 and over on the wait list for a state home has nearly doubled in less than 2 years, nearly doubled. Zach Fleming visited a caravan park in South Auckland where the owners actually prefer to take in pensioners because they're the best tenants.
Brian Tan manages the Otahu Caravan Park. A quarter of the occupied caravans there are long-term rented out by pensioners.
We have up to about 10 people who are in the same similar situations, like Merv.
Pensioners like 70-year-old Merv Pearson, who's been living in caravan parks for 9 years.
Well, if I had a rental, I'd have to be paying power, maybe water, and a lot more rent.
And what would that then mean?
It would mean not a lot of nothing.
Not a lot left over after his pension, which is $431 a week. His caravan's $245 a week. It's unfurnished, but includes power and water, bathrooms and kitchens communal, but it's safe. There's a security gate, 16 CCTV cameras, and a long list of rules.
Like all the rules.
Internet's an extra $40 a month, but Merv doesn't have a computer or smartphone, so he doesn't bother with that.
I'd love a laptop, even a smart iPhone. Not that I know how to work them very well, but Google stuff and go on the net and...
Keep up to date with his 2 daughters in their 40s.
Do I want to live with my daughters? No, they've got their own lives.
You said you're kind of stuck here. Do you feel like it's a choice to be here?
Where else would I go?
And is that just a money thing?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Merv's rented all his life. He's been married twice, divorced twice. He spent most of his life working for Air New Zealand as a route manager. Travel was his passion. But he was made redundant in the late 90s and has struggled with employment ever since. He acknowledges he might be able to scrape by in a rental, but what about unexpected expenses, like a recent dental visit that cost $2,000?
So I bowl into Wins. Oh yes, we can help you. And you get a $300 grant. That's just for the extraction and x-ray thing. The rest of it you have to pay off within 2 years. I said, and how much is that going to cost? $35 a fortnight. I said, well, can't you make it? He said, no, that's, if you don't want that, walk away. I said, well, you sort of got me by the balls. What can I'll have to accept.
I asked if he'll notice the $1,750 a week missing.
Oh, shit, yeah. I mean, yes, I will, yeah.
Merv isn't on the Ministry of Social Development's Social Housing Register, formerly known as the Housing New Zealand waitlist. He told me he doesn't think he'd ever get a state house, so doesn't see the point. He did go to Auckland Council and ask about a senior citizen flat.
Oh, they said, oh, there's about a 6-year waiting list. I walked out. I said, well, aren't you building anymore?
I asked him to remember back to his 20s. What did he think retirement would be like? His answer was blunt.
Not like this.
Over the last 2 decades, retiree home ownership rates have stayed around 86%, but the number of those who are mortgage-free has dropped significantly from 83% to 72%. Elderly advocacy groups like Grey Power and Age Concern say the problem of pensioners living in unsuitable accommodation like caravans is only going to get worse. In less than 2 years, the number of people aged 65 and over on the Social Housing Register has nearly doubled, from 271 in September 2015 to 487 in June this year. And there's currently around 26 pensioners in emergency housing, for example motels. For those people, if they get into a state home, MSD says generally their rent would be no more than a quarter of their income, around $100 a week. Brian Tan, the Otahu Caravan Park manager, said he gets more than 35 calls a week from people wanting to live at the park, and constant contact from the Ministry of Social Development.
Every day.
He says the calls are often asking if clients can move in immediately.
If they want to move in right away before the background check is done, we're going to have to charge them under emergency housing. So basically that's going to be a lot more.
By a lot more, Brian means double, $490 a week for a caravan. He says MSD has accepted that rate several times in the past. Merv's content.
I get out most days and got my gold card, go all over Auckland, love it.
But he admits a caravan isn't ideal. I asked him how long he thinks until he's in a home.
How long's a piece of string? When do you win lotto? And where do I go from here? Well, I'm not a geriatric yet, but I don't know. Where would I go after this?
For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.